Well, hello everybody. Welcome to Vinyl Treasures. I'm your host, Johnny G, John Galindo, coming to you live not each and every Saturday. You're going to have to excuse my voice here because I am, is my video all right there? I'm looking at this video here. It's not right. There you go. I am behind. But welcome to the December 17th, 2022 Vinyl Treasure Show. I haven't been here since October 22nd, 2022. It's been a big ordeal for me. I'm not going to go into it, but I'm glad to be here. It was a spontaneous show only because I have my brother downstairs monitoring my parents, and I pulled some records out tonight to kind of get back in the swing of things. If I sound a little odd, it's because I have COVID for the second time, which is kind of weird. I think it's more of an upper respiratory thing, but they diagnosed me. I went to the urgent care and they said, Johnny G, you don't have RSV, you don't have the flu, you don't have something else, but you have COVID again. I said, wait a minute, how could that be? The quick test was negative and the PCR was positive. So, but it's kind of nasty. This is probably starting day 4 now. But at least I can talk a little bit. I'm a little bit nasally, but I couldn't talk at all. But I am here, and we opened up tonight's special edition, we'll call it, trying to get back into the swing of things here. We opened up with saxophonist Lee Allen and his biggest hit, which came out on Al Silver's Ember record label in December 1957, song called Walkin' with Mr. Lee, a song that I always liked. I think I first heard on I think it was Art LeBeau's Original Sound, I think one of his albums that my aunt purchased back then. But this was number 54 on Billboard, 46 on Cashbox, and it was number 11 on WCOP out of Boston, Massachusetts, December 57 on Ember Records, a cool label to collect. Lee Allen and his band, Walkin' with Mr. Lee. So I got some records I pulled tonight. And let's open up on the Imperial record label. You know Luther Bond and the Emeralds, and they had some cool records on Federal and Savoy. Well, the Emeralds recorded without Luther Bond, and they were known as the Victorials. And of course, and I'm like, what is a Victoria? Well, I think at the time they were named after the Ford Crown Victoria. I think that's how they came up with the name. But either way, they had one release as the Victorials on the Imperial record label from July of 1956. I always liked this record, and I have multiple copies because they sound pretty crappy. Some of them are grainy, other ones, it depends. With the Imperial label, you never know, right? But this one is okay. It's a stock copy. It features Harold Davis on lead. So we open up the vocal portion from July 1956, the Victorials on Imperial, and this is kind of how Johnny G feels about the music. I get that feeling.
I get the feeling when we are dancing. I get the feeling for romancing. I get the feeling when we are dancing.
I get that feeling when we are dancing. I get that feeling for romancing. I get that feeling that you'll always be mine. Let me dream on, don't wake me up yet. Now while the music's playing, don't wake me up yet. Please let me dream on in this wonderful dream. In a frantic roar we spin around, our hearts as gay as robins in the springtime. As we look into each other's eyes and then your lips are touching mine.
How soon will this enchantment end?
Please let me dream on, don't wake me up yet. Now while the music's playing, don't wake me up yet. Please let me dream on in this wonderful dream.
robins in the springtime. As we looked into each other's eyes, and then your lips are touching mine. How soon will this enchantment end?
Please let me dream on, don't wake me up yet. Now while the music's playing, don't wake me up yet. Please let me dream on in wonderful dreams.
Yeah, that group called the Victorials there. A record I bought from Doug Hanners. Doug Hanners, he used to sell records out of the state of Texas, I think. Used to get that list. The Victorials there with Harold Davis on lead. July 1956 release on the Imperial record banner. I Get That Feeling. Music is a feeling for Johnny G, a passion for Johnny G, and that's been missing out of my life, really, for the last couple months. But, we count down the music chronologically here on the Vinyl Treasure show, and this one goes back to, well, actually, I messed this one up. I wanted to play the Swans, but let's play the Charmers here. This group, I think they're out of Harlem, New York. Yeah, I usually, excuse me, folks, I had this, I copied in the flip side here because the last time I played this record, I played the flip side, a song called In the Rain. In the Rain. The other four fellows do it. Also, this group called the Charmers. But I think I had a battle of the groups on one of the shows, and many of you like the four fellows better. But this is the flip side here. It's their second release on the Central label. Has a female lead for this group. Her name is Vicki Burgess. Vicki Burgess, of course, would later become the lead singer of the Joy Tones on the Rama label. But this is from March 1954. She's on lead here with the Charmers on Central. Their harder record to find. It's called Tony, My Darling.
My darling, this ache in my heart, now that we're apart, is more than I can take. Each night I hope and pray there will come a day you give my heart a break. So, Tony, my darling, I wish you were here. Then I can tell you how much I care. I'll sing my song now that you've gone.
There you go. Those are the sound of the Charmers there. From March 1954, Vicki Burgess on lead. She was the lead singer of the Joy Tones. My Foolish Heart, a great record they do on the Rama label. That's on Central. Tony, My Darling is the name of the tune. And let's go back a year to 1953. You all know this group from Harlem, New York. It's on Victor Allen's Allen record label. They were known as the Five Willows at the time. They had 3 releases on the label, and their third release, which is this one, is their hardest release. And it's a cover of a popular World War II song. Dates back to 1941, composed by Walter Kent and Nat Burton, but it was first made famous by Vera Lynn in 1942, but recorded by oh so many vocal groups, and these are the Five Willows, and their version, a very hard record to find on the Allen label. Tony Middleton, I think he's the lead singer on this one, from August 53, the Five Willows. Five Willows on Allen Records, with their rendition of the tune, There'll Be Bluebirds Over the White Cliffs of Dover.
There'll be bluebirds over the white cliffs of Dover tomorrow. Just you wait and see. There be love and laughter and peace ever after tomorrow, when the world is free. Shepherds will tend the sheep, the valley will bloom again, Jimmy will go to sleep and his own little room again. There be bluebirds over the white cliffs of Dover tomorrow. Just you wait and see. The shepherds will tend the sheep, the valley will bloom again, and Jimmy will go to sleep in his own little room again. Bluebirds over the white cliffs of Dover tomorrow. Just you wait and see.
Now, those are the Five Willows. That's the hardest record to find on the Allen label by the Five Willows. Tony Middleton, yeah, Tony Middleton, it sounded like him. It's hard to know. They can't... Johnny G losing his hearing, too, by the way. The Five Willows there with There'll Be Bluebirds Over the White Cliffs of Dover. I forget what I paid for that record. It wasn't cheap, I can tell you that much. This next record isn't so cheap. Well, it's kind of expensive, but... I mean, at the time when I bought it, might have been around $1,000 or so, maybe $800 or $900 at the time that I bought this record. But it's a great record for this group that's kind of out of Johnny G's backyard. This group is from Greenburgh, New York, and they were singing at local clubs in the White Plains area. And they met up with promoter Lover Patterson, who introduced them to Eddie Heller. He owned the Rainbow record label. And the result was this single. And it features Ray Roberts on lead. This comes on red vinyl. I think they all are on the red vinyl. I don't think there's a black vinyl out there. But they have another release on the Steamboat record label, which I found locally down the street from me at a garage sale. But this is from December 53, The Sound of the Swans. Ray Roberts on lead with the Swans on the Rainbow label. From December 53, it's called My True Love.
ever near. Oh, when the weeper will no longer cry out, that's when my love for you will begins out. Till then, I'll go on searching for you, darling, my true love. Oh, my true love.
That's the sound of the Swans. The Swans there with Ray Roberts on lead, December 1953 release on the Rainbow label. My True Love is the name of that tune. Kind of moving to 1955 now. I tell you, just picked randomly and just kind of put them in order here. So we go to 1955. I think a bunch of you guys in the chat room requested this one. I know Daniel Kubacki did at one time. I think Butch Ford did. I think or somebody, either somebody in Arizona or somebody out in Hawaii requested this record. I forget. Maybe Butch did. And I didn't get a chance to play it, but it's on Sid Nathan's Federal record label. This group is called The Sheiks. Now, the group supposedly consisted of Jesse Belvin, Eugene Church, Harold Lewis, and Mel Williams. The song co-written by that icon out the West Coast, Johnny Otis, and it's with Johnny Otis's orchestra. They're backing the group up, but Jesse Belvin, he's the lead singer on this. This is from August 55, The Sheiks on the Federal label. We'll send this one out to George Tompkins. I know he likes this tune. It's called Sentimental Heart.
Is a sentimental heart, a heart that longs for you. Here is a love, dear, that's oh so true. Maybe someday you'll want my sentimental heart. Here is a world of devotion and burning desire. The love light is burning, my heart's on fire. Maybe someday you'll want my sentimental heart. I'll go on loving you, yeah, day after day. Oh, hoping and praying, oh dear Lord, yeah, that I'll hear you say. There's a sentimental heart, a heart that longs for you. Here is a love, dear, that's oh so true. Maybe someday you'll want my sentimental heart.
Those are the Sheiks there. Jesse Belvin and the Sheiks on the Federal record label. Yes, the flip side of So Fine, the original version of So Fine. August 1955, Sentimental Heart on Federal, the Sheiks. Let's move up to 1957 now. And who requested this song last? I think Joe Shacatano requested this a while back. I played it for him, and this is on Stan Feldman's and Ed Portnoy's Ivy label, which is out of New York City. Now, this is the yellow Ivy. Well, it's yellow or it's started out yellow. It also came out green. If you got the Del Tears on the green label, that's the second press, but they were first yellow. And this is not an easy record to find. The 5 letters, one of the rarer ones to find. I guess the Lullaby of the Bells, that is the most common and the biggest hit for the label. Well, maybe Genie. No, probably Lullaby of the Bells. Lullaby of the Bells for sure. Johnny G again in a COVID fog too, by the way. But this is from October 57, the 5 letters on the Ivy label. It's called Your First Love.
There's no other love like your first love. Your first love, darling, really thrilled you.
They're called the 5 letters. The 5 letters there, not an easy record to find. I think I have 2 copies of that 45 on the Ivy label. October 57, the 5 letters, Your First Love is your very first. I don't know, Johnny G babbling on here. Let's continue here. Let's move into 1958 now. And this is a rare girl group sound here. I think Mike Sape requested this a while back. This is a record. Actually, Mike Sape dedicated this to Jimmy Amato the last time I played this. These gals, they're from Brooklyn, New York. I bought this record at the Allentown, PA show from Ralph Barton, the late Ralph Barton. He's no longer with us, unfortunately. But this group is from Brooklyn. They formed at Russ Red Hook Community Center, and this is their lone release. Came out on Bob McGee's Rim label, which is out of New York, and it features a gal by the name of Penny Hardison on lead. And this is we'll send this one out to Mike Sape and Jimmy Amato. It's with Tico Wilshire on the orchestra. I tell all you collectors out there, if you see Tico Wilshire on the record label, you better buy the 45. 90% chance it's a great record. This is from March 58. Penny and the Overtones on Rim. It's called What Made You Forget. you go, Penny and the Overtones there, March 1958 on the Rim record label. What Made You Forget? Now, see, this is an ad hoc show for Johnny G. Again, I apologize for my voice. This is my COVID voice, and at least I have it. I couldn't talk before, but at least I have the voice. And Sterling's telling me not to talk too much, but actually, it's actually very good because I've been taking Mucinex every 12 hours. It seems to be working, but I'm taking some other things too, and I am on the mend here. But the flip side is actually a pretty good rendition of the song, so we'll flip it over instantly. I don't have that many records to play, but I mean, I do have a bunch here, but we can't really be here all night. Johnny G will get plumb tuckered out, but I do have some records, and you see how I'm don't have that many for certain years, but I got one more from 58. But let's flip this over because I do like the flip side here for Penny and the Overtones, their rendition of the tune "Walkin' My Baby Back Home." It's a good song. I agree with Marvin and George. Let's put it on. Here you go.
Shoo-be-doo-wah-doo-wah-doo-wah, shoo-be-doo-wah-doo-wah-doo-wah, shoo-be-doo-wah, shoo-be-doo-wah, shoo-be-doo-wah.
Gee, but it's great after staying out late, walking my baby back home. Running on over meadow and farm, walking my baby back home. We go along harmonizing a song, or we're reciting a song. I'll go by and he gives me the eye, walking my baby back home. We stop for a while, he gives me a smile, I cuddle my cheek to his chest. We started to pet, and that's when he gets filter powder all over my vest. Gee, but it's great after staying out late, walking my baby back home. Kiss and then do it over again, walking my baby back home. We stop for a while, he gives me a smile, I cuddle my cheek to his chest. We started to pet, and that's when he gets filter powder all over my vest. Gee, but it's great after staying out late, walking my baby back home. Kiss and then do it over again, walking my baby back home.
Girl group sounds here on a special edition of the Vinyl Treasure Show. This have to be my Christmas edition because I'm going to be, we're not really celebrating Christmas here. My living room is like a hospital. My living room is like a hospital. I should say the living room is like a hospital with 2 hospital beds. The VA is sending one on Monday for my father, but they wanted to send it on Friday. But I said, look, I don't feel well. You can't send it here. So I got my brother downstairs, and they're kind of all ready. They're put to bed here, so I'm up here. I said I'll do an hour or two, or a little more of the show here. So as we continue, we just heard Penny and the Overtones there from March of 58 on the Rim label, great 2-sided 45. That song, "Walking My Baby Back Home." This is maybe this is the rarest record I have in my collection now, because I was not that I was looking, but I have to admit I went to check out Brian's auctions there because he had a record on Gone that I thought I needed. I don't buy novelty records, but I do run the label, so I said, let me check on eBay to see if anybody else was selling any group records. So I looked, and I saw that Don Folletti listed this next record for auction, and it sold for $9,788. I was like kind of shocked because I didn't pay nowhere near that. I mean, I paid a lot. If you check on PopPsych, you'll see what I paid because I think I was the only documented sale on that record. And when it came out, but I bought the record from George Lavatelli. Rest in peace, George Lavatelli. When he was sell from time to time on eBay, and I forget who I outbid on that. Might have been Fred, if I'm not mistaken. But this is on Paul Winley's Cyclone record label. Supposedly this group was like they were all gang members or something. I don't know, something like that I heard. But they're called the Calendars, but it's spelled Calendars. The Calendars. I don't know. I say Calendars. But it's a very rare record, I guess. Now it's ultra rare, I guess. And I think the last time I played this, I sent it out to George Tompkins. I think also Nat Papagallo in Naples, Florida, also likes the song. This is from 1958, the Calendars on Cyclone Records. If I Could Hold Your Hand.
If I could hold your hand, then we would make romance. Oh, how happy I would be making our romance without regret. If I could kiss your lips, then maybe you wouldn't resist me. Oh, how happy I would be knowing that someone cared. In love with you. In love with you. In love with you. Whoa, won't you hear my song? I need you, Nick. I need you, Nick. Without you, Nick. Because I just can't go on. If I could hold your hand, we would make romance. Oh, how happy I would be knowing that someone who
There you go. That's a rare record in Johnny G's collection, or one of my rare records, I guess I'll have to say. 1958, the Calendars on Cyclone, If I Could Hold Your Hand. Sold for $9,788. Don Folletti. And Don and Chris, that's a great sale you did. There were a couple other things that sold. I mean, it's amazing how some of these, I guess, all the collectors. I mean, there's a lot of old time collectors. I don't know how many people had that record. I don't know. I think there are copies out there. It's not like it's impossible to find, but he had a really nice copy. I think my copy's pretty nice. It played pretty well. Don't you think it played pretty well for that copy here? But anyway, let's continue here. Let's move into 1959 with this group. out of Jacksonville, Florida. I really like this record. The first time I heard it, I think the first time I heard this was when Ronnie I played it, I think, on one of his shows. But it's the group's, they did 2 on Excello. This is their first on Ernie Young's Excello record label. And this was the intended B-side, by the way. This wasn't the A-side. But I like this side better. John Stanberry, he's the lead singer on this. Let's go to September 59, the King Crooners. The King Crooners on Excello Records. It's called Won't You Let Me Know.
That you love me so, yeah, talk to me, baby, yeah, let me know, yeah, oh, please, baby, tell me that you love me so, yeah, you know I love you. Protect me and be my brother. Oh, baby, let me know. Yeah. Oh, please, baby, tell me that you love me so.
Sounds of 1959 here on a special edition of the Vinyl Treasure Show. Just decided to spontaneously do this. It was depending on how well I felt, and I felt pretty lousy the last 3 days. Hard to sleep, I'm telling you. It feels like I'm like drowning. But I gotta buy. I bought this pretty cool. Dave the Rave turned me on. Actually, his girlfriend told him about this cool humidifier. It blows like this mist. It's not cheap, but we bought one to put down in the living room for my mother. It works really well, so I need one up in my dry bedroom. That's definitely what you need, because you can't have something like this and be in a dry environment. That is a no-no. But that's a great tune there. We heard the King Crooners from 1959. As I lost my place here. There you go. September 59, King Crooners on Excello, Won't You Let Me Know. And let's stay in 1959. I always liked this record, and it did well the second time around because there's tons of second presses of this record. And I mean, I don't think it's so ultra rare, but you don't really see and I hate the small print on it, because I think the reissue is black letters on red, but this is like silver on red, which is kind of crappy. But this, I think Matey Campboy requested this record last on Morty Craft's Warwick record label. The group is Jeannie and her boyfriends. Now, Jeannie does lead on the A side, And I think that, what's that, was it like a cover of Who's That Knock, or like an answer record to Who's That Knockin'? But anyway, the flip side, though, features a male lead. Now, the group members were Estelle Cremo, Edward Ruby, Elliot Cobell, Anthony Fingler, Reuben Holmes, and Leon Jones. So one of those guys is the lead singer on this, and I don't know who it is, but I like this ballad side. From June 59, Jeannie and Her Boyfriends on Warwick Records. The song is called Baby. Marvin and George agree. That is the side. They should have played that side. Great tune there by Jeannie and Her Boyfriends, June 1959 release on Morty Craft's Warwick record label. Baby is the name of the tune. Now, Sherry, you mentioned D3 and zinc. I am taking a zinc, and I was told I need to take 20,000 IU, I think it's IUs of D3 with this strain that I have. This is a strain that comes from an initial COVID. If you get COVID, like I did in October, I ran myself down again, and it reoccurred, is what happened. It reoccurred, and it wasn't that I caught it again. It just lingers. It lingers in your body. So you have to make sure you're fully rid of it. And if you get run down and tired, like Johnny G was, getting up every 5 minutes to tend to my father, it was difficult. So I'm going to be out of it soon. Hopefully I will sound better. I don't know if I'll be doing the show next week, but probably not. But I wanted to come on to do this because I need to get back to some sort of normalcy in my life. And this is what I love, my passion of playing these records and my collection. Let's continue here. And This is another record I like. This song, this gal, she was one of the lead singers of the Elvinos. They were a duet. I forget his name, but they were out of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. The Elvinos, recorded for the Groove and Vic record labels. Her name is Anna Mae Jackson, but on this release, she goes by the name of Ann Keith. I think Jimmy Amato, you might have asked me about this record at one time, but this is a great two-sided 45 because she's doing cover songs, and we'll probably flip this over. So the side I'm playing first is Lonely Girl, which is really, the song is called Lonely Boy by, who is it on the N record label? Somebody type it into the chat there. Who did I'm Just a Lonely Boy? Bob, oh my goodness. Johnny G is losing his mind. Yeah, Bill Jackson was the other group. Who does I'm Just a Lonely Boy on End? Somebody knows it. But this is the girl side of it. So, but it's a great two-sided 45. The flip side is a cover of the Clickettes, I think. Yeah, the Clickettes. But anyway, let's give it a spin here. Ann Keith, a.k.a. Anna Mae Jackson, July 59. Bill Lassley's Memo record label. The song is called Lonely Girl. Ronnie Jones. Thank you, Josue. Ronnie Jones and the Classmates. That's it. He does Lonely Boy. This is Lonely Girl.
I'm just a lonely girl.
Cha 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 do.
All by myself.
Do 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 do.
More than I once lost someone else. He doesn't love me. That's why he treats me this way. I'm just a lonely girl, all by myself.
Whoop whoop whoop.
More than I need, want someone else. He doesn't need me. That's why he treats me this way. As I stroll through the park, hear the early morning dew. I hear what's calling me. I'm wondering, can it be you? I'm just a lonely girl, all by myself. The boy that I need wants someone else. He doesn't need me. That's why he treats me this way. Whoa, treats me this way. Whoa, treats me this way.
That's Ann Keith, a.k.a. Anna Mae Jackson, July 59. Lonely Girl, which is Ronnie Jones and the Classmates version, I guess the female version of that. And the other side is a Clickettes cover song. But I like this song too. That was whoever owned this record, they put their stickers on there. Number 41, I left them on there. They didn't really mess up the label or anything. I didn't want to take them off. So let's flip it over here because the other side's a good tune here. It's called Lover's Prayer. This was first done by the Clickettes on Dice. He had a Clickettes record too that sold for some pretty good money. A Teenager's First Love, I think it was. But anyway, let's give a listen to Ann Keith with a cover of the Clickettes' Lover's Prayer.
Teach you to love and love only me. Dear Lord, please hear my prayer when I open my eyes. Let him be standing there. Please come to me tomorrow and tell me someday he won't. Can he take me in his arms and kiss me? I know that God has heard my prayer. Always, always, now me,
Cover tunes here on a special edition of the Vinyl Treasure Show. There you go, Ann Keith, a.k.a. Anime Jackson, July 59 release on the Memo label. Lonely Girl backed with Lover's Prayer. Again, Johnny G making mistakes. We continue now. We always a lot of records in 1959. I think others in 61, but we stay in 1959 for this next group, Alvin Gaines and the Themes. Interesting how I got this record because I had to hem and haw with the count. You know, Bob Ellis, one of my early purchases from him. And, hemming and hawing. No, I don't want to pay 100. No, 80. No, 75. Back and forth with this song. But anyway, I can't find any info on this group, or at least the last time I researched it, I couldn't. But I'm saying that I think they're out of Nashville, Tennessee, because I see the writer credits on this, Ron and Jimmy Isle. And they do a lot of stuff out of the Nashville area. And it's highly possible that this Themes group is the same group that recorded for Excello. I'm thinking possibly it is, maybe, but this record was out of the record library of WAEB. That was a station out of Allentown, PA. I understand that there were a lot of great records in that station. They were kind of like buried underground or something. I don't know, some kind of story I heard about that. But anyway, this is from April 59, Alvin Gaines and the Themes on the Fidelity label. It's called Cross My Heart.
Love you.
There you go. I bought that from the Count, Bob Ellis. There you go. Bob Ellis should be tuned into my show here. I play your records all the time. That's April 1959. Alvin Gaines and the Themes on Fidelity Records. Cross My Heart is the name of that tune here. Let me see. Marvin, you asked me about that record here. I had it. I wrote it down here somewhere. But let me see. I'm looking for this other record, too, that I'm playing. If I can find my notes here. Amanda Excello, Destiny. This is... Where is that record here? Oh, here you go. Because I'm not playing it on the original label, on the Capri record label. But it was interesting that some of these records here, what they go for... Does anybody have the Ask Me Why by the Beatles? That sold for $4,250. Are you kidding me? I mean, that is like crazy money. But, hey, then you had a whole bunch of group records here. What did they... Here you go. You had the Solitaires. Well, this is actually a pretty good price, I think. Thrill of Love and I Really Love You So. I mean, I could have upgraded that. I would have loved to upgrade it for $258. And I Don't Stand a Ghost of a Chance for only $160. That is a steal, I think. The Ivy Leaguers. I mean, I paid like $40 for this record. It went for $240. The Ivy Leaguers, Told by the Stars, and Jim Jammin'. I didn't pay a lot of money for that record. The Church Bells Are Ringing. It went for $238, a mint copy. The second press of I'll Remember in the Still of the Night. I mean, I have a stock copy. Sold for $213. I have this record, but I didn't pay a lot. I think I paid a couple bucks. The Dynamics on Douglas, which will relate to this next song I'm playing, by the way. Here it is. The Clickettes sold for $520. A Teenager's First Love, but that's a mint copy. There's that Cyclone record. I don't think there's anything else that's worth of... this was... no, I don't have that one. Bunny Fitz, and that was it. That was it on the group stuff. But I just thought it was pretty interesting. Anyway, Don Folletti doing very well in his auctions. But let's continue here, because this record, I made a big mistake. You know when you make mistakes in your collecting career? Not that I buy a lot of stuff from... Well, I did buy a lot of stuff from Jerry Diaz, but he offered me this record by the Dynamics on Capri. I think it was a Dynamic. Yeah, the Dynamics on Capri, because I have the Bonnievilles. But he wanted a lot of money. He wanted like $1,500 for the record. I said, well, listen, I said, that's not a group record. So he was like, well, that's what I want for it. So I passed on it. And maybe I made a mistake. I don't know if I did. But I eventually got it. But I got it on a second press. And maybe I made a mistake at the time. So maybe I should have paid $1,500 for the 45. But it's a duo. It's a duo from Compton, California. And this first came out on the Capri record label, as I mentioned. And it was reissued in 1964 on the Azusa label as the Dynamos. But they were initially known as the Dynamics. They were Walter Alexander and Lafayette Vaughn. And they were managed by KGFJ disc jockey Rudy Harvey, who, by the way, has a release on that Capri label, which I do have. So I'm featuring this on the second press Azusa Records. But they have other releases on this Dynamic label. A common one, I think, is called Darling, which is, by the way, the flip side of this record. But anyway, this originally was released in 1959 as the Dynamics on Capri. It was called No One But You, but I have it as the Dynamos on Azusa. Let's give it a spin.
Bumblety bow bow, bumblety bow bow, bumblety bow bow, bumblety bow.
Who am I? Belong to no one but you. My heart belongs to no one but you. My heart belongs to no one but you.
I guess he wanted too much money. I wasn't going to pay, $1,500 for the 45. I said, maybe I'll find it, but I never did find it. Spence ended up selling me that one for, $150 or so. I ended up buying that one. But that's, what? So what? I like the record. I do. I like that cha-cha type beat. Those are the dynamos on that release on Azusa Records, but originally they were known as the Dynamics. Let's stay in 1959 for this next artist. Born in Lafayette, Louisiana, but he was raised in Los Angeles, California. Now, his debut single was the original version of the song You Got What It Takes. It came out in 1958, before Marv Johnson had the hit on United Artists. And this is, I wonder if this is after he left VJ Records. I think it came out on VJ Records, if I'm not mistaken. This is on a label called Amanda, named after my niece Amanda. No, not really. But there is an uncredited group backing him up. His name is Bobby Parker. It's November 59. This is not it's kind of a hard record to find. Bobby Parker, November 59 on Amanda Records. It's called Foolish Love.
Love is just a foolish thing, all more and more. Love is just a foolish thing you can't ignore. Then you somehow find it's better to be friends, and that's alright. Love is just a foolish thing. More and more. Love is just a foolish thing you can't ignore. How could she do it? You want a reason when you thought she was so true. Love is just a foolish thing you can't ignore. You think that maybe lasting is home, but you're really not so
That's one you probably never heard of before, but I think Greg Surik sold me that record. He comes up with some great records, I have to say, Greg Surik there, but I lost my place here. 1959, where is it? Because Charlene's probably going crazy here that she was surprised I sent her this list here. Where'd it go? Johnny G is rusty. Yes, he is. Anyway, that's Bobby Parker. Where is it here? Alvin Game. But there it is. Bobby Parker, November 1959. Foolish Love is the name of that one on the Amanda record label. But, no. Yeah, that's right. Johnny G not losing his mind. If anybody's new to the program and you're just finding out about the Vinyl Treasure Show, I have been away. Last time I've been on the air live was October 22nd, I think. That's the Saturday night. That's the last time I was live, and then everything hit the fan. I was sick after that, and that was a disaster. But going to be making a comeback here probably in January sometime. I'll be able to do at least the Saturday night shows. I don't know about the Wednesday night shows because I have to get somebody to stay here while I do the shows. And I can. It's going to cost me, but I can do that. So if you're new to the program or you're just finding out about the show, you got to subscribe so you'll know when I'm live. I'll usually put out a coming attraction thing, and I think people get notifications if I'm not mistaken. You'll get an email that says my show will be coming on such and such a date. I was doing it for a while and kept on putting it off because I just didn't have time, and I really didn't have time to prepare for this one. So I said, let me go get some rare records and just put them on, records that I like. So that's how I did it. So you need to subscribe to the program, and Johnny G will get back into the swing of things. But let's continue here because I got a few more records to go. We just heard Bobby Parker. I think I have one more in 1959. This was another expensive record. This cost me some bucks too when I bought this one, but it's not that easy to find. As I'm shuffling through my notes here, last minute here. There you go. As this group is out of Detroit, Michigan. Now, they recorded, well, what was it? Was it Muncie Record? No. Their first record was picked up by Coral Records, but they were on a Marvin Pod. You know the label of the Enchanters' first record came on. Coral picked it up, but they were on another label. Somebody will type it in there as Johnny G's in his COVID fog moment. But this one is their last release, came out on the Detroit-based Stardust label. They're called the Enchanters. Now, the lead singer on this, his name is Alton Hollowell. And this was their last single. This group was discovered by Duke Ellington, by the way. But this is 1959, Mercer. Thank you, Darrell Letts. The Enchanters here. I love this record. You know who loves this record? Carl Pellegrino of Motor City Music, who I used to buy some expensive 45's from. And he's a Facebook friend of mine. Haven't done much on Facebook for the last couple months. But I love this record. 1959, The Enchanters with Alton Hollowell on lead on the Stardust record label. It's called Spellbound by the Moon.
Spellbound by the moon that shines bright, hurry home soon, so you can love me. Spellbound by the moon, I'm so in love with you. All I do is pray. Oh, I'm so lonely that I'll hear you say that you want me. Spellbound by the moon, I'm so in love with you. Well, what did he say? Did he say? Girl, what did he say? Did he say? What did he say? Did he say? I wanna know what he said. Oh, what did he say? Did he say? Now what did he say? Did he say? He said, please hurry home soon, because I'm spellbound by the moon that shines bright. Hurry home soon, so you can love me. Spellbound by the moon, I'm so in love with you. Spellbound by the moon.
They're called the Enchanters. That's a cool record. Actually, both sides are good on that one. The Enchanters there. Alton Hollowell, the lead singer, 1959 on Stardust Records. Spellbound by the Moon. Hopefully Johnny G not keeping you spellbound. I might be spellbound tonight by the COVID moon as we continue here. This is an old request for Joe Shacatano. I think the last person to actually request this was Nick Nicola. This is on the Nugget label, which is out of Tampa, Florida. And I bought this 45 from, this was a Jerry Diaz special. And he charged me a ton for this 45, but both sides are actually pretty good. This is the intended B-side. It's by Bobby Sands and the Royal Teen Tones. And the flip side is actually pretty good, too. I think it's called Teenage Joy. But this is July 59. We'll send this one out to Joe Shacatano, Bobby Sands, and the Royal Teen Tones on the Nugget label. It's called Secret Lover. Actually, Joe, you are wrong. When you requested this, I said I played it recently. It's not that I didn't have the record, because I had this record a long time. And I can tell you, Charlene could tell you how many times I played this 45. But I did have it, and sometimes when I get requests, I had a rule. I wanted to have at least 6 months before I played the record again. I got so many records that sometimes I don't want to. I mean, I could play, listen, they used to play records 30, 40, 50 times a day back in the day on the radio. So, but either way, you're hearing it now. Better late than never for Joe Shacatano. That's on the Nugget label. July 1959, Bobby Sands and the Royal Teen Tones. Secret Lover is the name of that tune. Let's go to, we're going to go to Memphis, Tennessee here. This is another rare 45, although not as rare as the group's other release on this label. The second one is much rarer. This is on the Stomper Time label. And many collectors for years thought that Willie Mitchell was the lead singer on this. That is not. He is the band leader of this group. He's the band leader for the group, but the lead singer on this is Donald Bryant, the same Donald Bryant that would have a solo career for High Records, would have a lot of cool soul records in the 1960s, but he's the lead singer on this. September 59, the Four Kings Four Kings, it says Willie Mitchell with the Four Kings. The song is called Walking at Your Will. This is on Stomper Time Records.
When you are talking, my heart stands still. When you are walking at your will. But the dim from her eyes, darling, it made me realize when you are walking at your will. Walking at your will. Darling, I remember, yes, sweetheart, the day we met in the park. When you told me, yes, sweetheart, that there was something that you had for me deep down in your heart. But the tears from her eyes, darling, it made me realize when you are walking at your will. Walking at your will.
That's a great record there. That's those are the Four Kings, as I lost my place here. Four Kings there. Willie Mitchell, the band leader, September 59 on Stomper Time. Walking at Your Will. Johnny G is talking at my will, not trying to strain my voice here as I keep this raspy tone going here. And we move into 1960 now. Now, I haven't played this record in a long, long time. I think I played it when Billy Dawn Smith passed away. I think I did a tribute to Billy Dawn Smith and records that he wrote, or groups that he sang with, etc., whatever. But this is a song written by Billy Dawn Smith and Bert Keys, originally for Johnny Maestro and the Cress. But the song was covered by a group from Honolulu, Hawaii. They covered it on the Danko label. I got to ask Butch Ford if he's ever come across this record out in Hawaii, because he's familiar with Hawaii. He won't say where he lives, but he's familiar with Hawaii, so maybe he found this record out there, because I bought this from Jerry Diaz. I did another record because he was proud, he's out there on the West Coast, Jerry, so he got this record. But it's really hard to find. The group is called the Jokers. Now, this group backed up, if you know a song called Darlene and the Jokers on the Danko label, that's Darlene Yoshimoto. That's who they're backing up on that record, which is pretty much a common record. But this was the follow-up. And this is a cover. This was originally done by the Cress. But this is a cover done April 1960 on Danko Records. The Jokers with their version of the tune, I Do.
Little girl, I love you dearly. Won't you love me too?
Will you take this young man for thee? Will you give I do.
Say I do.
Say I do.
Say I do.
I do.
I do. I do.
Will you always promise to obey when I ask for kisses every day? If you want to see just what love can mean, say I do.
Say I do.
Say I do.
Say I do. Say I do.
If you know of any reasons why we shouldn't be together, it will surely make me cry, for I need your love forever. But if you then I do,
then I do,
then I do,
then I do, then I do.
Bom, 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 ba bom, ba 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 bom, ba bom.
Cover tunes here on a special edition of the Vinyl Treasure Show. Those are the Jokers. The Jokers out of Honolulu, Hawaii, April 1960 release. Cover of the Crest song I Do. That's on the Danko record label. One more record in 1960. I think Timothy requested the flip side of this not too long ago. This is out of Lexington, Kentucky. It's on Tom Birch's Nyko label. It's Bonnie and the Little Boys Blue. I think Timothy requested You Better Run. And then maybe Darrell Letts and a whole bunch of other guys, George and Nick, and a bunch of them requested the flip. I prefer the flip side, although I do like both sides here. A song called Bells. This is from May 1960. Bonnie and Little Boys Blue. It's Bonnie Johnson. She's the lead singer. This is on the Nyko record label. The song is called Bells.
You hear those bells?
that's a rare 45. I paid a lot of money for that record. It was like a three-way trade somehow. Greg and somebody in Texas, and I don't know how it went around, but he came to meet me in White Plains. I worked in the Gateway building at the time for a company called LK Comstock and Railworks. I was their accounting controller, and he would drive from New Jersey, and he would meet me down in the lobby, and it's like doing a drug deal outside. I would hand him like $2,000, and he would hand me a whole bunch of records. That's how it worked. They would come see me. I think Barry Soltz did it a couple times too, but that was a bigger deal. But anyway, that's a great record. May 1960, Bonnie and the Little Boys Blue on the Nyko label. Bells, great two-sided record here. Let's continue here. This one is not an easy record to find, although it's easy to find the reissue. The label is out of... Daryl, I need your help on this. Is it Paducah? Paducah? Is it Paducah? Or maybe Big Dave Swinger? Is it Paducah, Kentucky? I don't know. It's a label called B&C Records. Now, the first presses of this were really difficult to find, but they reissued it in 1964. If you own this, it's by the Five Blacks. That's what they called it a group, but it's really Herman Willis and a group. And it came out in October of 1961. It's a song he wrote, and I don't know if they were really called the Five Blacks or not. I'm not sure. It doesn't mention it on the label, but it's on the B&C label, October 61, Herman Willis and group. It's called Forever in Love. You couldn't see it that well on the webcam.
Eternity, you and I, forever in love. We'll walk down the aisle, you and I, thou should never say by you and I, forever in love. The angels just to me, darling, I'll love you until eternity. So thrill me every day and love me every way and never let me go. Oh, oh, oh. We'll walk down the aisle, darling, you and I. Thou shalt never say goodbye. You and I, forever in love. The angels sing to me.
There you go. That's an original there. And they play so much better than the second presses. I got to tell you that much. So if you have that record, it's not an easy record to find. I will tell you, Marvin, great. If you scored a copy of that, That's very good. That you got that record there. And I think Greg sold me that copy. I don't know. He probably went to pick it up in Kentucky is where he probably went. But I'm losing my I lost my place here. Well, here's the record I want to talk about. Now, where's the record that I just played? There you go, B&C Records. October 61, Herman Willis and Group on the B&C record label. Forever in Love is the name of the tune. And let's continue here. We are in 61. And I was at a Waterbury, Connecticut show one day, and Sal Artigliano paid $50 for a cracked copy of this. It was cracked from the label. I'm talking about a bad crack. It was cracked from the center hole all the way through to the vinyl. I said, you're paying $50 for that? Okay, there you go. But it's out of New York City. It's their lone release. It came out on a label called Keller Records out of 1619 Broadway in New York City. Now, according to Louis Silvani, he says that this group has ties to the Quintones that recorded for George Goldner's G label. That's a very rare 45 on G, a song called I'm Willing with a female lead that I have played here on the show. But this is a male lead here from May 61. Let's give a listen to The Lovers on the Keller label. It's called Strange as It Seems. Greg sold me that record too. It actually got a little bit bolder because I invited him up to my office when I was working in White Plains as a controller. I had a fishbowl office and I managed about 20 people, but I was a controller. So I asked the president, I said, look, I got to do a record deal. And they knew, Nat Papagallo might know about this because I worked with Nat at LK Comstock. So I told him, I said, I'm a big record collector, and I think the weather was crappy, and I told Greg, I said, I don't want to go out in the rain. Bring the records up here. You got them in a box. And that was one of the records there. So he's hovering over my desk, and I got all this accounting stuff. I got my PC up and whatever. So a bunch of the people came in and were talking, and so we were talking about record collecting, which was pretty cool, that I was able to, and I did that with every company I worked with. And I didn't work for many companies. I mean, even when I worked for Sony Music, if Brian Kelleher is listening, he's going to be upset. But I was in the Bertelsmann building down in Times Square. So I forget who I met, but I had to go down, 35 flights to go do a transaction in the middle of Times Square to get records. So I did them everywhere. I did them in Sony's back lot. I think Greg would meet me there. I think I met Tommy the Malt Man there that came over when he was working on my website a long, long time ago. We're talking 2005. But anyway, that's the story about that record there. If anybody's new to the program tonight and you're tuning in, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. I promise that I will be back once I organize and once I get everything together. I definitely will be back with the Saturday night show. I don't know about the Wednesday show yet, but I will be doing that. The spot is always open. Joey T told me that it'll be open. So I'm just trying to, put all the things in line here because there's a big change here that went on. I'm lucky to have my parents alive because most of the people that got this disease that age, they're dead. They're long gone. But they're still here and they're recuperating, so that's a good thing. But we just heard the Lovers on the Keller label. That one there from May 1961, Strange as It Seems. Strange as It Seems is kind of weird that Johnny G is here playing records, I can tell you that much. But a little story to tell about this next record here, and it involves Greg again, because he was a big supplier in my early days of collecting. So he calls me up on the phone and he says to me, Johnny, do you need a record by on the Sandy label by Peter Crawford and Group? And I was like, I never heard the record. What is the song? The Embraceables or whatever? So he goes, no, it's a rare record. I'm just asking if it might be $1,000. I said, really, $1,000? I said, I got to hear it first. So he calls me back and he says, I want nothing to do with the record. You're going to have to call this guy. He wants $500. He wants a money order for $505, $5 for postage. I says, okay. I was like, who is this guy? I forget his name, but he was it Las Vegas? I don't know. I forget where it was. Did I have a note here? But at one time, this record was very rare. Peter Yaffe, I think, was the only one that had a copy at one time, if I'm not mistaken. But we didn't know how many copies this guy had. And evidently, he had over 200 copies of the record. So how pissed I was when I found out that he charged me $500 for that record. So I said, well, that's it. I am done dealing, because I won't deal with you again if I get what. And that was it. And so people can lose out on a lot of money. At least they did. But at one time, this was a very rare 45. Came out in 1961. It's on the Sandy label. Sandy Records out of Mobile, Alabama. That's the same label that had Tell Him No by Travis and Bob. What else? Who else is on there? Lorraine or Lorzine, something. There's a couple great group records on that label. But this was at one time the most expensive record, and it's not a bad record, really. But I wasn't going to pay $1,000 for the record, and maybe when it went down to $50 a piece or whatever the hell they were going for, I really got upset about it. But let's give it a spin. 1961. Both sides are good. This side's called There Goes a Young Love. His name is Peter Crawford. And I don't know, maybe the group, Marvin, maybe is one of the groups that sang on the label. But it's from 61, Peter Crawford on Sandy, There Goes a Young Love.
young love.
Probably the Embraceables, yes, Marvin, I agree. Was one of the groups that sang on this, recorded for Sandy Records, but that's Peter Crawford. At one time, a very rare 45, not anymore. 1961, There Goes a Young Love. As we continue here, we are in 1961. Now, this is a rare record, and you got to be careful, though, because of the bootlegs on this next 45. It's out of California on the Amber label, and the group is called The Pearls. And I forget, you have to make sure it has a Delta and a couple other things in the dead wax as they booted this record. But it's a rare 45 in the original form. These are The Pearls from June 61 on Amber Records. It's called It Must Be Love.
It must be love. Oh, I know it's gotta be love. It can't be nothing but baby, that's why I'm in love with you. Oh, you. Oh, I'm in love with you. It must be love. Early in the morning you give me yes, and without any warning you gave me baby, that's why I'm in love with you. Oh, I mean you, just you.
Baby, it must be love. For I gave you my heart, my love, my caress. And that could only lead to one thing, matrimony. So it must be love, sweetheart. It must be love.
Yes, I know it's got to be love. Don't tell me a lie, I know it. You and I can get by with just a love. Baby, that's why I'm in love with you.
There you go. That's a rare 45 by a group called The Pearls. They're out of California. June 61, It Must Be Love on the Amber record label. So Marvin, tell Greg called me the other night. I can barely talk when he called. And he was kind of like, you know, because he knows my story. He knows the situation. He's been here to the house many, many times and actually knows both my parents. So they are coming along and I am coming along because I am better. So my voice isn't quite returned, and I only got a few more records to go before we cut out of here because I don't want to really do too much. But I mean, I'm telling you, this is like therapeutic for me. I mean, at least, and I've been away for a long time here since October 22nd, so it's almost October, and here we are almost this October, November, 2 months, a long time after, you know, I never really missed many shows at all. But we got, I think, one more. Yeah, this is the last one in 61. Now, this group is called The Five Chances. Now, this group includes 3 of the original members that sang on the States 45's, like Johnny Jones, Reggie Smith, and Howard Pittman. And it included a new lead singer. His name is Frank Sims. And he wrote this song. This one came out in August of 1961. I guess we can call this the very last record for the 5 Chances. I like both sides of the record. It's on the PS label out of Chicago, the 5 Chances, August 61. It's called Need Your Love.
I'm in love with someone that's dead, and I wish that someone was near. Although we are miles apart, I still have you here in my heart. Yeah, never, never go. I need you so. Just let me say, darling, there have been so many lonely nights. Now that you're here, everything is alright. Oh, yeah, yeah. Just let me say, darling, there have been so many lonely nights. Now that you're here, everything is alright. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Never, never, oh yeah, never go. Oh yeah, I need you so. Just let me hold your hand and darling, oh yeah, walk along. Down that promised land. Oh, baby, honey child. Oh, baby, oh yeah, I still love you. Oh, I need you.
Yeah, there you go. Those are the 5 chances. What? Yeah, 5 chances. Yeah, 5 chances there. John G losing his mind here. Where is that? We're getting down to the end here, folks, because got to get my hot tea. The 5 chances there. August 61. Frank Sims on lead. Need Your Love. Thank you, Brian, for that 45 on the PNS record label. Okay. We are in 62 now. I think this is my only record in 62. The rest, I think, are 64. This next singer, he was born in Denton, Texas, but he relocated to the northern San Francisco Bay Area as a child. And I think the last time I played this side, he just won a multi-million-dollar lawsuit. I wonder what happened to him, because this must have been 2015 or so. He won a multi-million-dollar lawsuit at Los Angeles Superior Court civil jury found in his favor a breach of contract lawsuit against Evan Saint Productions, awarding him $5 million in royalties and damages. His legal name is Sylvester Stewart, a.k.a. Sly Stewart, of course. He was Sly of the Family Stone. I wonder probably for his records on Epic, maybe? I don't know. But he probably never received any royalties for this next 45. Now, his first release came out on the Lucky label as Danny Stewart, a song called A Long Time Alone. That was in 1961. Then in 1962, George Mottola, that was his label, Luke Records, re-released it on this label, GMP Records, as a B-side. And this was the intended A-side here. It was called, and his name is Sylvester Stewart, aka Sly Stewart, July 62 on G&P Records. It's called Help Me With My Broken Heart.
Well, I never been hurt before, but my babe just walked out the door. She said she don't love me, she said she don't need me no more. Somebody come and give me a hand with my heart. Yeah, it's getting so heavy and it feels like it's falling apart. Somebody come and help me. Somebody come and help me. Well, I need somebody to help me with my broken heart. I wish I could peep inside and take a look in my heart. Yeah, I would cry while I'm looking at the places where it's torn apart. Cause I don't know what to do. Yeah, I know you can't help me if this ever happened to you. Somebody come and help me. Somebody come and help me. Oh, well, I need somebody to help me with my broken heart. Try to hurry up and fix it before I die. Somebody come and help me. Somebody come and help me. Oh, well, I need somebody to help me with my broken heart. Oh, well, I need somebody to help me with my broken heart.
There you go, early Sly, Sylvester Stewart there on that's the G&P record label. So, so people looking for his first release. Why am I COVID foggy here? Long Time Alone. Oh, I wonder if that's the right. Yeah, Long Time Alone. We just heard Help Me With My Broken Heart. So let's give. I want to hear Long Time Alone because I like the record, and we're going to play a record for Ryan Heisey too after this. But let's hear his first record. This was his debut. This was his debut song, not the record, because it came out on Luke Records. That's a record I paid. What did I pay? Ralph Barton had $7.50 on it, a promo copy, but he gave me that day because it was like a $5,000. It was a $5,000 total of records that I bought, but he gave me like 60% off. So I wasn't going to buy. I said, that's fine with me. I'll pay 40% of the value. I really got a great deal from Ralph, and I miss him. He's no longer with us. But anyway, let's give a listen. This was his first record. This was Sly Stewart's first record. This song, well, his first song.
I saw your picture again last night. It brought back memories of you and me. Oh, why did we have to part?
Sound of California here on a special edition of the Vinyl Treasure Show. That's a Sylvester Stewart, a.k.a. Danny Stewart, a.k.a. Sly Stewart of the Family Stone, A Long Time Alone. That is his first song. This is his second record on the GNP record label. Now, Ryan Heisey, who I haven't spoken to in a couple months, made a request that we're going to play here. We'll do this for Ryan, even though we'll see. Now, why does Ryan want to hear this song? I don't know. We'll see. But he wants to hear the flip side of that Five Chances song. Yes, I have it on the, I think it's the Corina label. Is it Corina or Corna or something like that, as a single artist. Then they put it out on this PS record label. It's called Is This Love? I think this is an up-tempo side. But it's the Five Chances from 61. Is This Love for Ryan Heisey. Instant request.
Why is love a losing game? Why can't we always be the same? Whoa, I wanna know, is this love? Yeah, yeah. Is this love? Yeah, yeah. You say you love me like I love you. Why can't we make this a dream come true? Whoa, I wanna know, is this love? Yeah, yeah. Is this love? Yeah, yeah. You hurt me, darling, and I shed a tear. Oh, Lordy, baby, come back, pretty baby. I feel so sad when you're not near me. Oh, yeah, oh, yeah. I love you. Come on, baby, make this a dream come true. Whoa, I wanna know, is this love? Yeah, yeah. Is this love? Yeah, yeah. Hey! You say you love me like I love you. Why can't we make this a dream come true? Whoa, I wanna know, is this love? Yeah, yeah. Is this love? Yeah, yeah. You hurt me, darling, and I shed a tear. Oh, Lordy, baby, come back, pretty baby. I feel so sad when you're not near me. Oh, yeah, oh, yeah, oh, yeah. Come on, baby, come on now. Tell me, darling, tell me, baby, I wanna know, yeah. Is this love? Yeah, yeah, yeah. Is this love? Tell me, baby. Yeah, 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 yeah. Oh, baby. Is this love? Oh, baby. Is this love? Can it be? Can it be? Show me that it is.
There you go. That's an instant request for Ryan Heisey. Ryan Heisey in our YouTube chat room there. I say hi to Ryan. Have to check out your car videos, Ryan, if you put any new things out there. Actually, I got a question for you. My check engine light is on. Of course, I haven't had a chance. This is not the Cadillac. This is the LaCrosse that I'm driving, far from a Cadillac. But I got to take it to the dealer here. I just haven't had a chance here. I haven't had a chance to get away. This is really my only chance for kind of like getting back to a normalcy here. It'll probably put me in a good mood. I hope it does. I apologize for my voice, but I'm going through COVID here. And hopefully I didn't do too much. But we're going to sign off here in a couple more records. But that was the Five Chances there with Is This Love? And I think I got 3 more records to go here. I don't know much about this record. It's out of Mobile, Alabama. It's a girl group. It's on the Destiny label. They're called the Silverletts, Silverletts. This was another record that Surik offered me. He always comes up with these great records. The Silverlets. The Silverlets. It's called I Miss You, which is what I really did. I really missed all you guys. Maybe you didn't miss me that much, but I definitely missed you. I Miss You, the Silverlets on the Destiny label.
My darling, I need you right here by my side forever and ever, right here by my side. Oh, how I miss you. Oh, how I miss you. Wish you could be. Wish you could be. Oh, how long must I wait for you to come to me? My darling, I need you right here by my side forever and ever, right here by my side. Oh, how I miss you. Oh, how I miss you. Wish you could be. Oh, how long must I wait for you to come to me? See me, darling, wherever you are. Darling, I must express myself completely as I can with these few words. I hope that it reach you. Darling, I love you.
So there you go. They sound like young gals out of, where did I say they were from? They said they were from Mobile, Alabama, Destiny Records. The Silverlets, I Miss You. Johnny G used to have a Cadillac. Oh, well, wait a minute. That sounds like a car, Silverlets. Anyway, let's continue here. A few more records to go. Then Johnny G's got to get out of here. Don't want to overdo it here, but I like this next record. This singer, he's out of Long Island, New York. At least at the last time I bought this record, he has since retired, but he was still living in Long Island, according to Spence, because Spence, I think, knew him personally, if I'm not mistaken. He had an earlier recording prior to this. This is 1964, but he had an earlier recording on the Liberty record label from 63. And this was his next release on a label called Amcan Records. And the thing with this label is that all the promos of this single were one-sided. And, of course, the stock copies would have the B-side, which, of course, I prefer the B-side of this record, because the A-side is something called Everybody Jump, which is just an okay record, but I definitely like the ballad flip side, which makes it a rare record, by the way. It's on styrene, so you can tell the bootlegs very easily on this record, but it's from 1964. His name is Nick Cardell with a C. This is on Amcam Records. It's called I Stand Alone. That's 1964 there. That's Nick Cardell. Actually, with that record, Spence tried to sell me 4 of his other records that he bought in 61 as, I guess, as a teenager. One was Daddy's Home. What was the other one? There was another one. It was Daddy's Home on the Pink label, Hull. I can't remember the other 3. But he said, Johnny, these are Nick Cardell's records and this. I said, well, what am I going to do with those? I mean, those are hits. So I said, but this one I want. So he just sold me this one. Nick Cardell there, 64. I Stand Alone on the Amcam record label. Now, this next song, we go to Denver, Colorado for this next group. It's actually a cover tune because this song was first done in 1963 by the Marvelettes. So Jerry Nazen, you know this song. The Marvelettes did this on Tamla, a song called Forever, but it was picked up by it was originally put out on the Delft, D-E-L-F-T label, which is really a rare record. You can't find it on this label because Bandbox put it out. So you can find the Bandbox copies. They're easy. This group is called the Four Chevelles, but Bandbox picked it up. But this is the first press out of Denver, Colorado, which is Bandbox is out of Denver also. And it features Chuck Thomas on lead. But this is another great cover here. October 64, the Four Chevelles on the Delft label, their rendition of the tune Forever.
If I could be with you, I'll be your slave for the rest of my days. Love you more in so many ways. Just to be with you fills me through and through, and darling, forever, forever. You can make my heart, take my love if you want to, but I play the part of just to be with you forever.
Cover tunes here on a special edition of the Vinyl Treasure Show, the COVID edition, we'll call it, because Johnny G's starting to fade out here. October 64, on the original label Delft Records, very rare 45 by the Four Chevelles, song entitled Forever. 2 more 45s to go. Johnny G's got to sign off and gotta get to bed here. But this, I don't know, maybe some of you don't know this record. It's came out in May of 1964 on a label called Tune Glow Records. And the gal's name is, I think it's Zaida, Z-A-I-D-A, or Zeta, Z-A-I-D-A. Zeta Turner is her name. It says music by the Wallace Brothers, arranged by Nat Foster. I think I paid $100 for this 45, and the name of the tune is called Every Step of the Way.
Oh, when your friends forsake you, darling, and it seems that you've lost your way. Yeah, just remember that I stand by you, darling, every step of the way. Oh, I know life you realize that I love you. I love you more and more each day. Yes, and I need your love. Stand by me, darling. Every step of the way. Yes, kind heart. Yes, and loved ones sympathize at misfortune and fate through time. But they had faith that our Father would forgive and bring peace to a worried mind. Oh, somewhere in life, yes, you realize that I love you more and more each day. Yes, and I need your love. Stand by me, darling. Every step of the way. Yes, kind heart. Oh, and loved ones sympathize at misfortune and fate through time. But I said they had faith that our Father would forgive. He's gonna forgive and bring peace to a worried mind. Oh, somewhere in life, yes, you realize that I love you more and more each day. Yes, I said that I'm gonna need your love. Stand by me, darling. Every step of the way. Yes, every step of the way.
There you go. Kind of a gospel-y flavor there for that group. That is Zeta Turner. Zeta Turner on the Tune Glow record label, May 1964. Song entitled Every Step of the Way. Well, that's going to do it for Johnny G and the Vinyl Treasure Show. Really trying to be, I don't want to overdo my voice. Well, at least I could talk a little bit. So let's hope tonight I don't get those coughing fits that I have, because I'm telling you, I had a couple coughing frenzies today but it kind of, the Mucinex really dries it up. I mean, that's what I was told to do. But anyway, I am beat, and I don't want to really do too much, but this was really a therapeutic thing for me more than anything else. And I hope you enjoyed the show. I apologize for my voice. I apologize for the the visual because I need the panoramic view versus because when I hold the labels up to the webcam, they turn with like a fishbowl. And I had it set right, but I don't know. I left the PC on for 2 months and I lost the connection, but all I had to do was change the port, but it whacked out all the settings, so I have to redo that. I just didn't have time. But anyway, because we're doing a bunch of things here, trying to get my parents set up on some new financial things, so it's difficult. I plan on returning in January, so thank you all for your well wishes and your prayers, because they have been answered, I guess, I have to say. So I'm lucky to still have my parents here. My family is, but we move on at this point. I'll get over this, hopefully. But I hope you enjoyed this show tonight, played some records, and I expect to be back sometime in January, at least on the Saturday night show. We'll see on Wednesday nights. I got a lot of people that want to hear some soul music, but we'll see, because we got a lot of things to do. But at least Saturday nights I'll try to be here. Don't know how much in overtime I'll do, but maybe we'll hold off on the request because it's easier for me to maybe program the show that way. And Charlene to get her fingers back into the groove. But anyway, thank you all for tuning in tonight. Tell your friends about the program. It was interesting. I picked up about 35 or 40 subscriptions, which is great, not doing anything. But hopefully when I do something, I'll get more subscriptions. But thank you all again for tuning in tonight. Hope you enjoyed the show. Send me emails at vinyltreasures@aol.com. And you see, I forgot to record this show. You see that? Forgot to record it for my website, but that's okay. I can get it off of here, I think. But anyway, you see, I wasn't really thinking the COVID fog. Anyway, our closer tonight, a very interesting song. It's out of Atlanta, Georgia, on Bill Moon's Moon record label. Now, supposedly, this group is Arthur Conley's group, because Arthur and the Corvettes, that's Arthur Conley's group. And I think this is the same group, although Freddie Gonzalez doesn't group them that way. So I don't know why. But I think the last person to request this was George Tompkins. So we'll send this one out to George. George and a bunch of other people also have been going through some very difficult times with health and other people losing people in their lives. So it's been very difficult for many over the last few years. But at least I gravitate to the music to try to get, a peace and happiness. Because that's really, that's what kind of moves me. That is my passion. And hopefully my siblings will understand that even though they all have their things that they get to, this is my special thing. It's the 3 hours that I do with the listeners. It's really the best time for me. So anyway, thank you all for tuning in tonight. Our closer tonight is by the Corvettes, February 1965, on the Moon label. It's called I'm Going to Cry. So just want to say, everybody, so long.
So hard to be in love with someone who doesn't love you. When she shoots a flame to your heart, there's nothing you can do but fall on your knees and beg for forgiveness for something that wasn't of your doing. But last night, I overheard a conversation between two hearts, and they said,
I'm going to cry.
She left me
left me.
She left me. She said she loved me. She said she loved me. Never thought she has ran away from home. Please come back. She left me standing. She left me standing by myself. By myself. There is nothing to do but mourn. But I'm going to cry. I'm going to cry. I'm going to cry because she left me.